What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here tonight with a review for The Oval on BET Season 2, episode number 15, and the episode was titled Don't Move. So, you guys, without further ado, actually, before we get into the video, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and not yet subscribed, why are we still going on this date? Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, hit the share button, hit all the buttons on the channel. Now, without further ado, let's talk about The Oval, shall we? So the episode picked up literally where the last one left off. You guys remember, they sent the drone to blow up the cabin that Bobby and Max were hiding out in, right? Well, Bobby and Max, they're still alive. Max, however, is telling Bobby, like, don't move. He was like, what are you talking about? He's like, don't move. If they even sense that your dumb ass tries to move, they can send another drone in, but they have to get authorization. That's if they, see basically a moving target, right? They sense any movement. So, after they eventually get up, Max was like, we should go to their front door and let them know that we're still alive. I'm like, that is the stupidest thing you could come up with, but okay. So then, Max thinks that Lily gave them up, but Bobby says, I don't believe it was Lily. It could be Diane, but unfortunately, I can't get a hold of Diane, which we think Diane is dead. We still don't know what happened to Diane, actually. So then, Max tells Bobby that he has a place that they can go to, right? So then we see Kyle. Kyle is at his place. He's celebrating, thinking that he got to them, right? So then later in the episode, we see him and he found Dale. And Dale was sleeping in his car. He had a flashlight, although the flashlight was not on. And then he's just trying to disguise his voice. But I'm like, Dale, are you not looking at him? Like, can you not see Kyle and realize that that is Kyle? So when he finally gets out of the car, he asks Kyle, were you following me? He says, yes. So then he says, I have a bed you can sleep in. He says, no. So we had this back and forth about, you come stay with me. No, I'm not interested in you. Come stay with me. I'm not interested in you. Come stay with me. Not interested in you. Come stay with me. I'm not interested in you. Come stay with me. I'm not interested in you. That's basically what we did for about 5 minutes. I was like, oh God. Dale is telling you no. Dale, he's a nutcase. Just get out of there. Didn't make any sense to me why we kept going back and forth. Honestly. Let's move on, because I'm not going to go back and forth, guys. So next up, let's talk about Ruth and Barry, right? So you guys know Ruth she kidnapped Barry. So she's taking Barry back to the compound, right? So then she tells him, you need to stop asking about Callie. And I was like, damn, you really want this man to stop asking about his child? Okay, I guess. So then Daikon comes out and he asks Ruth, did he bring the money? She says, yes, he brought the money. So then, Daikon is like, well, you look thirsty. Why don't you come with us? I wouldn't drink shit you gave me. I just don't trust the Rockadushis. I don't trust those people as far as I can throw them. And I probably couldn't throw them far as hell, right? So Barry cussed at one point and Ruth went up to him and popped to hit him in the face. So then he's screaming for Callie, and then Ruth gets this tree stump, goes behind Barry, pop, knocks Barry on his ass. I'm like, damn. I can't with this show, right? So then we see Richard, right? So Richard is in Barry's room. He's calling Barry. Nancy comes in the room. She wants to talk to Richard. She asks him, did Barry come home? Is Barry home? Did Barry come home? I'm gonna give it to Richard because she asked the dumbest question. You just wanted a reason to talk to him, right? He was like, look at the bed. Does it look like he came home? I was like, Nancy, I gotta give it to Richard on that. When you ask a dumbass question, does it look like Barry came home? No, it does not look like he came home. So, he tells her to move, that he needs to find Barry. She says, but Richard, I want to apologize to you. And Nancy, at this point, I just don't know how you can apologize for that one. You slept with his dad and you got pregnant. The easiest thing for you would have been to say that his dad raped you. I'm just going to keep it real with you. It would have been easier to say that he He did that one too. He took advantage of you. You could have said he did. I mean, there are a lot of things you could have said. You could have just really said it was non-consensual, that you had picky. You really could have said it was non-consensual. You literally could have said that. Literally could have said it was non-consensual. Because I just don't know how you're going to come back from that one. You're not going to come back from that one. Yeah. You slept with his father and got pregnant. Yeah, you ain't coming back from that one. Let's move on. Guys, next, let's talk about Sam. So Sam goes into the room. Priscilla's in the room. She says, I thought I told you to leave. He says, I need my things. She said, I threw all that shit down the stairs. He says, you didn't throw all of it down the stairs. So he goes in the safe and he gets something. Now, I don't necessarily know what he got out of the safe, right? So then he asks her if she took $25,000 from him. She says, yes, and I'm going to take everything else that you got from you as well. He says, well, I got checks bouncing everywhere. She's like, I don't give a damn about that. So then he leaves and he's closed the door behind. She said, don't slam my door. Only person right here that can slam the door is me. I'm like, okay. So then as he's going downstairs, he gets a call from Victoria saying that she wants to go for a run. She says, how soon can you get over? He says, I'll be there in 45 minutes. She says, no suit, Sam. So then she comes out of the bathroom. She's happy and she's merry. And Hunter says, why are you smiling? She says, Hunter, go down to the Oval and do some work and pretend like you know what they're talking about. He says, I know what they're talking about. But he says, you smiling. It makes me very nervous. So I'm like, oh, it makes Hunter nervous when she's smiling. So then she tells him, he's like, why are you dressed like that? She says, I'm going for a run. Now, Tyler, I don't know why you wrote this in the scene for a white man to say this to a black woman, but he told her that she cannot salvage that fat ass. I was just like, really? This is what we're doing, right? So we see Lily. So Lily, she's at the house. She's going downstairs. Donald, you there? So no Donalds. So she calls Bobby, right? And, Bobby's short with her. He's like, what's up? She's like, what do you mean, what's up? I'm checking in. So then, she asks him, how are you? He says, I'm fine. She says, are you upset that I didn't leave with you? He says, why didn't you leave with me? So then she asks, well, when can I see you? He says, I don't know. She says, when can I see you, Bobby? He says, I'll let you know. So she says, well, I can come to the cabin. He says, oh, now you want to come to the cabin. Okay, do that. So then, he gets off the phone with her. Max is beside him. Here's something that's confusing as hell to me, right? So Max, before Bobby answered the phone, Max told Bobby she can't know where we're going. He says, that's easy because I don't know where we're going. How in the hell don't you know where you're going, but you're the one that's driving the fucking vehicle? Please make that make sense to me. That threw me for a loop. So then he hung up the phone. Once again, Bobby says, I don't think she knew anything about this. He says, but hell, I don't even know where we're going. And once again, like I said, so you're just driving. Max hasn't told you, I get it. He doesn't know where they're going to stay at. I get that. But okay, you know what? I'm not gonna even rack my brain with that one. We're gonna move on. Yo, Jody, the nosy neighbor. Priscilla and me had the same question in mind because when I saw Jody outside, I'm like, why does Jody have a broom and she's sweeping? But the good thing is Priscilla asked that same question. Now, before she got out, as she was getting out the car, she was calling Diane, but she's not getting an answer from Diane because, once again, we don't know if Diane is dead or alive. The last thing we saw with Diane was when Kyle was at the White House with her with that chainsaw. So we don't know if Diane is dead, alive, but I'm pretty positive Diane is dead. I think Diane is dead. Diane could be dead. I think Diane's dead. What do you guys think? Do y'all think Diane is dead? She got to be dead. She has to be, right? But see, that's the thing when it comes to just like last week with the haves and the have-nots. some of the storylines were not closed up. And I'm still upset about that. When I'm going to go watch the reunion, I'm not doing a review of the reunion. I'm just going to watch the reunion to see if they answer any questions. Doubtful. So, Jody, nosy neighbor, right? When Priscilla walked up to her, she's like, "Why are you outside sweeping the grass? Why are you outside sweeping the grass?" She said, "My neighbor stole my rake, and I think they own that shit." But you're sweeping the grass? The grass. Okay. So then, then Miss Jody gonna go into being her nosy ass self and gossiping, right? But then she says, "The hell you think I am? I'm a church going woman." As if church going women don't gossip. God rest my big mama's soul, but she could gossip. Especially with her church, with the other mothers of the church. Whoo, I would be listening to some of the conversations, right? So then, Jody tells her that Nancy cussed me out like a dog on the street. And then she says that, Sam was over there saying that, she says the reason why she cussed out because she was trying to stop what was going on between Sam and Richard. She said, "Wait, Sam was here?" Yep. So then Nancy comes outside and Nancy apologizes to her. She says, "My feelings were hurt because you cussed me out like a dog on the street." Well, if you wouldn't have been so nosy, maybe you wouldn't have got cussed out. Did you ever think about that, Ms. Jody? So, Nancy's like, "I'll come over there later and talk to you." She says, "I don't know about that. My feelings were hurt." Okay, Jody. Okay, girlfriend. Again, the key word is what? Mind your damn business. Mind your business. It's free. Very free. Let's move on. All right, you guys, let's talk about Donald and Hunter, right? So Donald and Hunter, they're in the Oval Office, and Hunter is asking Donald if, not Kyle, but Max if Max and Bobby are dead, right? Donald's saying a drone was a success, but they don't know if it was an actual success because he's got to send people in to make sure, he was going to send some people in to confirm. So, Hunter, although he is dumb as a box of rocks, even he notices, he's like, "Wait a minute, so you have to confirm, so you're not sure if they're dead or not?" He says, "Oh, I'm pretty sure that they're dead." "No, you're not, because they're not dead. They're not dead." So then, Hunter's like, "Well, I want to see it. I want to see it on the big screen. I want to see the explosion on the big screen," right? So they're getting ready to go see wherever they're going to go watch the footage of the cabin blowing up, right? But before he does that, he says, "I need to make a phone call." And, Donald's like, "Well, do you need me to have someone call for you?" He says, "No, I'll do it." So then he calls Ellie. He tells Ellie he wants her to see something, and he tells her to come down to his office. What he wants Ellie to come see, I have the slightest idea. Oh, good God of hell. Sharon and Kareem. You guys know how I feel about Sharon and Kareem. So Sharon and Kareem are in bed. I'm going to assume Sharon was given fellatio at this point, and the faces that Kareem were making were the worst faces I've ever seen in my life, right? So at this point in my notes, it says at this point they both are getting on my nerves, which 100% they're both getting on my nerves. So Richard calls her and he asks her, has she saw Barry? She says no. So he tells her, well, Barry was supposed to meet up with Ruth to get the baby, but he never came home. So then, he's talking to her, asking her, does she know anything? I'm like, huh? What would she know? But then she tells him about Dale, knowing about the Rackadoo. She had him talk to Sam. So if he wants to know anything, she would suggest he talk to Sam. He says, well, I go to lunch at 4:00. Is it possible that you and Dale could come down here to, meet me? She says, sure. So she gets off the phone. Kareem asks her, what was that? She tells him. Kareem is in his feelings, which I'm like, why are you in your feelings, dude? It made no sense to me. That's one of the reasons why I can't stand Kareem. That just didn't make any sense. You know that this dude's girlfriend, that the mother of his child is involved with the Rackadoochies, and they kidnapped his child. Speaking of which, how long has that girl been missing at this point? Because we're on season 2, but I mean, Callie at this point, she's only been missing for what, 24, 48 hours? Maybe 72? They ain't got no APB out. They ain't got no Amber Alert. Like, I'm just confused as hell. I am really confused about this. You ain't got no missing person. You ain't got no APB. You ain't got no Amber Alert. Like, what are they doing? This is interesting to me. When you just literally sit and think about the things, it's just really interesting. But like I said, I think we're only, if I'm not mistaken, we are at least 20. We're at least 48 to 72 hours into this her being missing. Because watching the show, you would really think we're months ahead, but we're only a few days out of her being kidnapped, right? We're literally a few days away from her. We're just a few days. It's just been a few days. Because, right, Hunter doesn't even have a cabinet yet. Hunter hasn't even been sworn in. I don't even believe Hunter has been sworn in. I don't think Hunter's been sworn into the White House. Has he? They haven't even shown up. Here's the thing, which is really interesting to me, because last season, season 1, we got the inauguration ball. Oh, okay, so he has been inaugurated. We just didn't see that. So he has been inaugurated. I just thought about it. But yeah, this has got to be at least 72 hours after the inauguration, right? This has got to be 72 hours or less. It's either between 48 and 72. We might be at 4 days. We might be at 4 days, I think. Let me know if you guys know what the timeline is, because I'm actually trying to think about that. What is the timeline? But let's move on, you guys. I didn't mean to go into that long ass rant, but it wasn't a rant. It was a tangent. I didn't mean to go into that long tangent about what the timeline is, right? So we see Priscilla as she goes into work, and I believe his name is Alonzo. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I literally forget this dude's name because they don't show him as often, so I always forget his name. And Sam's friend. Hell, what is Sam's friend name? We're not going to go into another tangent, so let's move on. So I guess his name is Alonzo. He tells her that, Kyle wanted the 911 tapes from Gene. So he says that he went down to the police precinct to pick them up. But when he went down there, he was told that an Agent Smith picked them up. But come to find out that there was no Agent Smith that picked them up. So now Kyle is going to go down to the precinct to figure out who actually took it. So then she says, well, did you tell Sam? He says, no, I haven't told Sam this at all. So then, she was like, well, why are you telling me? And I guess because he feels like he can trust her. So then so he keeps talking about it. So she says, you need to tell Sam. He says, I will tell Sam when he comes back. She was like, where is he? She says he's on a run, with the first lady. So then we see Victoria and Sam. So they're, getting ready to go for their run. And she tells Sam, Sam, I'm really over you with the ma'am and sir shit. So he says, if you have a big issue with the ma'am, replace me. She tells him, no, she's not going to replace him. We know that Victoria's not going to replace Sam. So then Priscilla. So Priscilla is on the phone with someone. I don't know who Priscilla was on the phone with. She never said who she was on the phone with. But whoever it is, she's trying to make an appointment to see them once again. Don't know who the person is. Pretty sure we'll find out soon enough, right? Did I skip that scene? I sure did skip a whole scene. All right, let's backtrack just a little bit, you guys, because I just realized I skipped over a whole entire scene. So after Jody the nosy neighbor was, talking about her thing with Priscilla, talking to Priscilla, Nancy and Priscilla went into the house, and that's when Nancy told her about Richard and Sam having a fight with each other because Sam came to the house screaming, saying that Richard had told her something. Nancy says, nope, Richard didn't tell me. She's like, what is it? She says, it's some White House stuff and I can't tell you. So then, she said, Nancy also tells her, well, I told Richard, but he was very upset. You think you slept with his father and had a baby with him? Who wouldn't be upset about that, right? So then Priscilla tells her that she and Sam are getting a divorce. She's like, really? She's like, yep, and it's his choice. Now, Priscilla, we're not going to put this all on Sam. It takes two. In this situation, it literally took two to tango. You were not having sex with Sam. And I'm not going to sit here and blame Priscilla, and I'm not going to blame her, but you weren't having sex with your husband. What did you expect for him to do? I'm just being honest. If you're not, if I mean, you weren't having sex with him. Now, if you have a medical condition, I will let you have that. I'm gonna let Priscilla have it if she has a medical condition. But at this point, we don't know that she has one. So yeah, we're not gonna put all the blame on Sam. So where we at now? Do I want to? Actually, we'll pause here and we'll wrap up. All right, you guys. So Victoria. So Victoria is talking to Sam, right? She's telling Sam how good the sex with him was. Actually, she said he made love to her. I'm like, girl, he didn't make love to you. He banged you. Got a nut. He got a nut. That wasn't love making. That was just literally him pounding, taking you to Pound Town. So she tells him, I had many orgasms, Sam. I had many. I'm like, ooh, Sam, you put it down on her. And she was like, how did you know how I like it, Sam? Like, are you guys able to, like, do you have a file on me or something? You know, like, are you guys able to see what we look at on our computer, like the porn? He was like, no, ma'am. So then Richard comes out with a bottle of water and a towel for her, right? So she's like, can you go get me a beet juice and something else? So Richard does that, says, yes, ma'am. So then, she's talking to Sam. She was like, she thanks him for everything that he did. And she gave him a hug. I'm so sweaty, Sam. And then, she was talking about the fact that, she thinks Sam wants her. I think Sam wanted you because he wasn't getting any from his wife and you were giving him attention. So it's not it's not him that necessarily wants you. It's his penis that wanted you. You got to know the difference between, the mental and just the physical. He ain't got no physical. He ain't got nothing mentally for you, Victoria. It is all physical. So Richard comes back out with the juice, right? So Victoria leaves, and and Sam apologizes to Richard. Richard says, "Not so many words, brother." So Sam apologizes once again, and Richard says, "Fuck you." It was funny. He said, "Fuck you." Priscilla. Got an issue with you, Priscilla. I really do have a little bit of an issue with you. So Priscilla took her ass down to creepy ass Jason's room, right? Jason is in his bed with his laptop on top of him, and he has his quilt over him, quilt blanket, whatever you want to call it, comforts, whatever you want to call it. He has that over him. I'm like, this little motherfucker is up under that cover, and he's naked, right? I'm just like, I know he's naked, because that's just typical Jason. So Priscilla says, you told me that you had something that you wanted me to see. Is that correct? He says, I do. So now Jason wants to play Let's Make a Deal. He's like, if I show this to you, what are you going to do for me? She was like, Jason, you don't want to try me. What is it that you want to show? You wanted to show me something. Show it to him. He says, say please. So she says, Jason, you told me you wanted me to see it. What is it? He says, say please, Priscilla. Priscilla says, again, Jason, you don't want to fuck with me. I will make your life a living hell, basically is what she said in a nutshell. So he says, okay. She says, so Jason, show it to me. He's like, okay. So this little creepy motherfucker just whoosh, pulls back his covers. There is his schlong. He was like, touch it. She was like, Jason, I am not touching it. You said you wanted to show me something. Show me the damn video. Why she say that? Because she was getting ready to walk out. He says, Priscilla. And, oh my God, I just thought about it. Ew. I literally just thought about it. Because you gotta remember, I just said, when she walked in the room, Jason had that computer open, and there was it was either a video or a photo that he was looking at. Ew. Ew. I'm thinking that Jason was about to masturbate to his watch. Jason is in his bed naked. That video of Sam and Victoria is on the computer screen because he didn't do no maneuvering to get to it. He literally just opened the computer, hit play, and you can see Sam going like a jackrabbit on Victoria. I'm like, this little nigga was about to sit here and beat his meat to his mama, having sex with Sam. That is nasty. So is it safe to assume that you have been jacking off to your daddy banging, what was her name? Denise. Is that what her name was? She been gone for a whole season. Now, Denise, that was her name. I'm guessing you were jacking off to your dad having sex with Denise, and now Ellie, and now your mama with Sam. That little Negro is nasty. If I ain't never saw a nastier Negro, right? So Priscilla's upset, so she walks out of the room. When she walks out of the room, who does she run into? Victoria, and that's actually where the episode wrapped up, you guys, with Victoria and Priscilla face to face with each other. So that's it, you guys. Be sure to like the video, leave your comments in the comment section below, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell button so you guys are notified of when I drop anything else. Share the video, and until the next one, stay safe, take care of yourselves. Remember, wash your hands, wear a mask, whichever one you guys do decide to do. Just be blessed, be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Oh, and also, you guys, I'm going to post a vlog of my time in Vegas. So look out for that. I'm going to try to edit that one and have it up for you guys tomorrow, as well as I'm going to watch New York City Housewives tomorrow, and I'll put that up for you guys as well. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.